Hey guys, so this is going to be a quick one. I don't think I have a lot to say about this, but I wanted to point something out that I see a lot that I've been thinking about, and that is that there are a lot of people in this community who, do what they're told to do what you're supposed to do, and still nothing happens. At least this is the story that's told, and I believe it, for one. I think people are focusing on what they want and living in the end and all of that's Neville Goddard stuff to the best of their ability, and it's still not coming about. And the reason for this is that the mentality that's keeping you where you are, that's preventing those things from showing up in your reality, is not always, and I think often, is not the mentality about that specific thing. So if you look around your life and you're pretty much overall unsuccessful, and you say, well, I've never had a lot of money, I'm used to being broke, I don't, I've never felt super hopeful about having more than I have right now, and then you try to snap into this mentality of I feel wealthy and I feel good about money and all that stuff, and I can feel that, I'm sure it's gonna happen, all that stuff. If you have something in your programming that overrides this, the strongest thing is what's going to create your reality. And I really don't think this is that mystical of a thing. Your programming runs you all day long. It runs all of your choices, mannerisms, reactions, interactions with people. And these are the things that, actually influence the outer world through you. So if you have a program running that's really disempowering or, keeps you in a low state of success or something like that, if that underlying thing isn't changed, in my opinion, I don't see how all of the affirming and purposely feeling a different way about, one thing is going to change anything. Because if you're operating from the viewpoint of this is all pointless, or I'm really not worthy of any of this stuff, this is why the self-love stuff, though talked negatively about, and I personally hate the term self-love myself, this is why that changes everything for so many people. Because if you have if you're living in the state of I'm really not a very good person, or I'm really not, special enough to deserve anything, whatever the underlying deep down thought is for you. For me, I was just like, there's something flawed about me inherently. Like, that was my belief for like 40 years. Even though I did the best I could with that, it was still there. And so that deep down underlying belief, while not directly related to other areas of my life, like, my appearance or my relationship status or my financial success, though that was not, obviously that's about me and not about those things, that underlying feeling really made it nearly impossible to improve several of those things for years and years and years. I got over the money thing pretty early because that was the thing I think mattered the least to me. So I was able to sort of change my mind about my own capabilities with that, because I assure you, I did not start out as somebody who now owns a successful business. My net worth is in the millions. My income is, respectable by anybody's standards. It didn't start out that way. It took me a while. Just the easiest thing to get over for myself was I'm not good enough or smart enough or whatever to be able to handle something like that. But it still took me probably 8 years before I got to the point where I was just like, no, I can handle this. I can handle this. I'm up to the task of this. I'm good enough for this. Believing in myself enough to do it. That underlying stuff is going to stop anything from happening on the outside, because it's the thing that allows you to actually operate within the thing that you're trying to feel or manifest. And despite what a lot of people in this community will tell you, simply imagining yourself in a different state does not magically make you go into that state. What it does is it orients you correctly to do the things that support that state and that make that state authentically manifest in your reality, essentially. Somebody sent me a message on Reddit a couple days ago about, like if I want to manifest becoming a great chess player. Does that mean that basically, is it possible that I can imagine that, and then without doing anything to actually learn how to play chess, like basically, will I wake up one day with that knowledge downloaded into my brain? Like, will I wake up a great chess player? I don't know. I don't really know what to say to anybody whose answer to that is yes. You just wake up in a different reality where, you're that person, and I don't know what to say to the people that claim that. I don't think anybody has experienced that who is saying that. That has never been my experience at all. My experience is that you go through the natural things that you would go through to get to the end that you're focusing on. And it's the same thing with anything about you, any, transformation about yourself that you need to do in order to get the things in the outer world that you want. You know what I mean? You're not going to wake up one day and it's going to be like everything's different. You might wake up one day with a life-changing insight in your mind the second you open your eyes. That has happened to me more times than I can count. I needed to understand something I didn't understand, and in an instant, the thing that I needed to think to make it all make sense just sort of appeared in my mind. That happens. But it's not like I just woke up one day and I'm like, oh, I'm free of these problems. It just doesn't, that to me is not how any of this works. But there is a loud contingent of people here who I think are really, this really comes down to a self-worth issue, a confidence issue. I think the people that are the loudest about this are the ones that are the least confident in their own ability to face themselves and change and or go through the things in life that you have to go through to change. It takes courage. This stuff all takes a lot of courage. And so basically, the bottom line here is, in my opinion, in my experience, if you're trying to manifest something and it's not coming about, the best thing I think to do is set it aside and look at yourself. This is basically what I say in every video now, but if something isn't manifesting, though you've done what others have told you is the right thing to do to get them to manifest, there is likely something running in your program that is not allowing what needs to happen for that to come into your life to happen. And so, this is why it is so vitally important to look at what's running you, and you can probably pretty easily figure some things out about yourself, about the way you're operating, a general attitude that you have towards life that is still present, that is incompatible with all of the things that you want. Just changing those things is often enough that you don't even have to focus on the outside things, because I don't know how to explain this exactly, but it's almost like the things you want you. So as soon as you get out of the way, they just come and start to be a part of your life effortlessly. But you have to get out of the way, and what getting out of the way means is stop basically blocking it by having the thoughts that it isn't going to happen or it isn't for you. And just not having those particular thoughts, I don't think, is enough, because those thoughts come from somewhere. Why do you feel that way? Is your orientation towards life that it's just hard and has to be suffering, and that, the vast majority of people never get what they want and you're one of them? If you have an underlying attitude like that, I think the manifestation thing, the direct intentional manifestation of specific things like money or a relationship or whatever, or more minor things, is going to be hit or miss. It's going to be spotty, because for the things that are more important to you, those more negative underlying operating beliefs are going to they're going to be the ones that trump the more surface new things that you're trying to think and make happen. So really, you have to look at what your deep underlying beliefs are about this whole experience, because if you can write those, everything else is so much easier and possible. Some things are not going to be possible for you from a certain mentality. And I think one of the most toxic things about this community has been the spread of the idea that no matter how toxic your general belief system is, you can still manifest things that are in opposition to that. Good good luck with that. I think that that just comes from people who are really afraid to actually come face to face with the way they are and to look at what they really believe about themselves. So they have to keep telling people this, you know. So anyway, I hope that helps somebody. That was on my mind just now while I was outside watering my mom's ginormous backyard garden in the sun, which explains my appearance right now. Have a great day. Happy Father's Day.